little different. This 7-inch zoom fluke, really big bait with a huge hook, really long shank hook, and a 1-ounce torpedo weight. I'm gonna drop shot. I'm gonna drop shot that. I'm gonna walk out onto the end of a reef and get way out in the middle of the kelp and the reef and just let that out there and see what happens. I wanted to target this big section of reef where the reef is really the thickest. You can see there's birds out there. There's a pool right over here I want to drop my bait in first before we get way out on the reef. A really shallow pool right here. Let's fish it first. Okay, right there. See that pool right there? Watch how this wave washes in to this, next to that rock right there. See how it's just washing just over that tide pool right there? It's filled in. That's where I want to drop my bait in. And just give that a few minutes before we head out onto the main reef and get out as deep as possible. End of the reef now. I see there's some birds right out there. I'm gonna bomb into the thickest part of the reef now, around all that kelp, with this drop shot zoom fluke 7-inch. We're gonna see what happens. There's also a pelican in the water over there. A couple pelicans on rocks to my right. This thing casts really far. I would like to be using 30-pound braid. Right now I'm using 20-pound, but I think it'll be sufficient. Let's see what happens next. This is exciting. Reef right in front of us ends, the rock meets water, and then it drops off into deeper water right there. And the waves are just rolling right into that deeper pool. That's the strike zone that I'm targeting. So I'm just casting in, fishing that short area, the small area of water. Working really hard for a bite today. Conditions look great, except that the fish are just not biting, and the water's really cloudy. That's one thing. The waves are a little on the big side, water's a little cloudy, but where are the fish, you know? Seems to me like they should be biting today. Finally found a fish today. I felt that bite, he held on to it, I set the hook. I think we got a Grassy. That would be my guess. He's not shaking his head at all right now. Yeah, it's a Grassy. All right. They are so heavy. Grassy on the prototype hook. Check out my prototype hook. That's 3/8 ounce of lead right in the middle of the hook. I really like it. Never snags. Pretty weedless. It's super duper snagless. I really like this a lot. Casts really well too. Oh dude, he has a crustacean in his mouth. Look at that. Look at that crab. That's a good sized crab right there. Oh man, look at that. That fish is trying to digest that sucker. You can see some meat right in the back. Oh wow, the shell has actually become soft. It's digesting. Alright, well I took that meal out of his mouth. Maybe I should put it back. There, you were eating. Sorry. Well, I have been working really hard today to find a bite, and I finally got my first bite and caught that little grassy rockfish. I want to show you my bait. This is a 4.75 inch Rage swimmer in green pumpkin, which I like because it has lots of white on the belly. I like this color white, it's pearl white. But the hook is what I'm really interested in sharing with you. This is a VMC super long shank worm hook. I've added a screw lock in front, and I've also added 3/8 of an ounce lead right at the middle of the hook. I tied it up with some thread and I put a bunch of quick crazy glue on there. And this hook, just like this, is working fantastic. I have a bobber stopper right in front of it. That's just because I was using a bullet weight earlier and I didn't want to take it off the line. But I wonder if maybe it's a good idea to keep it there anyways. So far, this thing has been completely snagless. I fished a lot of water with it. This thing is not snagging, it's just gliding right over. I lose sensitivity. That's the only downside, is I can't really feel the bottom as well. I can still feel it if I'm paying really close attention, but not nearly as well. But I'm also not snagging as much, so I'll take it. I'd rather have the most snagless bait that gets the most hook sets. Nothing else is really as important as that. So far it's been completely snagless, and I've got one hook set out of one bite. I really, really like this 3/8 of an ounce right at the middle of the hook. I'm gonna keep experimenting with this and just keep fishing the heck out of it and get lots of experience with it to see if this is the design that we'll go with for the new Battlestar Victory hook. Oh man, I just had another really good bite right on the drop. I went to rinse my reel, I went to pull this thing out, and then I felt my rod go brack. Something tugged on my bait, so go figure, there's bite number 2, and I was completely unprepared for it, so I didn't get the hook set. Man, I love this. I love the bait. I'm really, really happy. I'm gonna be fishing like this a lot more frequently from now on. I'm gonna go home and make a whole bunch more hooks like this so I can keep fishing like this and really learn about it and get more experience. I love coming out here and doing it. I'm just earning it. I'm gonna get a big one sooner or later.